Dobribas, we can't hear you. You are not audible.
Sir, you can start now, sir.
So we are starting the session now. Cool. So good evening, everybody, and
Good evening.
Jai Hind to everybody, and a big thanks to Dobribas team and the participants here in the session. I am Sushant Singh. I am presently under training. I'm doing my district practical training here in Dhubri. After this, I will be going back to Hyderabad. And I am IPS probationer of 2019 batch, which was the batch just before the one that has just got selected. I secured All India rank 189 in the year that results came. Yeah, and my option was public administration. And I think given my number of attempts, I have a fair idea about the exam. So we'll talk about it. And I really appreciate you guys coming here, giving your time.
Excuse me, sir, you are not audible.
Right. Am I audible now?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. Thank you so much. Could you please name yourself, the person who pointed this out?
Sir, my name is Sudeshna Sarkar.
Sudeshna, thank you so much. Yeah. I'll reintroduce myself. Before that, I would like to thank Dhubri team and all the participants here in the session. I am Sushant Singh. I am IPS professional from 2019 batch. And I have secured All India rank of 189 in the 2018 exam, civil service exam. My option was public administration. And that's about it. The format for today's session would be such that first I would like to give you a general idea about, what is the requirement for cracking this exam and what is the process that you go through before you finally get selected. And after that, we'll have some question and answers from the inquisitive candidate. And if there is anything that the Dhubri team would like to add here, then they can add. Post that, we'll start the discussion. And if anybody has any doubt, then they can intervene in the middle. So we can address that question. So Dhubri team, is there anything that you guys would like to add before we start the session? Who is there for Dhubri team? From Dhubri team. Okay, I think we will start now. It's really great. I am hoping that all of you all here are, going to appear for the exam, and you're all interested in the exam and the service that the exam offers once you qualify. So for me and for everybody who's going to, appear for the exam, the biggest step is, making up your mind that, yes, this is my exam and this is what my life is going to be, So, the first priority that you should have in your life, probably some of you are in college. And is there anybody saying something? If you guys are not, if there's nothing to add, then you can all switch off your mics. People who have switched on their mics, it is creating a lot of disturbance. Mr. Arman, Mr. Manash Kumar Seal, Shreyasi Guha, you guys have your mic turned on, so kindly turn it off. Unless and until you have a question or something to add, then only please turn on your mic. I think Manash Kumar Seal and Mr. 8AE1AEF6, please switch off your mic, please. Okay. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dugri. Yeah. So I was saying that, the biggest decision is that you make up your mind, okay? Because this exam, it requires a lot of dedication on your part, both mental, physical, emotional, it requires giving 100% of whatever you have. So if you are in a dilemma whether I should go for this exam or not, then first you need to decide about it, whether it is yes or whether it is no. Civil service is not about, stepping into boats and then finally saying that, okay, I'll go wherever life takes me or wherever my boat takes me. It is about stepping into the right boat and, putting in the whole effort to sail along. So the first thing that I would like to say to everybody is that please, if you're having second thoughts about civil service exam or you're thinking that, no, I have another backup, probably I'll go for master's degree, I'll go for PhD, or maybe, I'll go for SSC. So, so I'm really sorry to say, but, these are the candidates who eventually do not pass the exam. So the priority should be that you make up your mind that civil service is my destination, is my final goal. And then whatever time you have, whatever money you have, you dedicate it to the exam. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that this exam requires your time as well as your money. Okay. Most of the audience here must be from Dugri. Being from Dugri has its advantages as well as disadvantages. Bubbly Das, madam, please switch off your mic. Bubbly Das. Yeah. So anyway, this is like a very interesting part of Zoom session that, suddenly your mic is turned on, your camera is turned on. So no problem. Even we used to have similar problems back in NPA where our training happened. It's all right. Then I was saying, yeah, that, this exam requires your time, your money, and it's not like a CAT exam where you prepare for 2-3 months and finally appear for the paper and do your best. This exam in itself is a lengthy 1-year process. After that, even you can't be sure about the result. So all in all, on the safer side, this exam requires 2 to 3 years. 1 year of preparation, 1 to 1.5 year of preparation, and then another year for as a safety valve that say in case it doesn't click for you in the first attempt, then that is why you have like some certain number of attempts, say, second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt. And this exam does require it. Not necessarily people make it through the exam in the very first attempt. It might require 2 attempts, 3 attempts, even 4 attempts. So that you should always bear in mind. Okay, and the exam is highly competitive, and at the same time, it's not just competitive; it is challenging in terms of your intellectual aptitude, your memorization power. So all in all, it takes like if you give you 100%, then I would say that at least save 2 to 3 years of your coming time for the exam. Because if you say that today I'm going to start preparing and the next year I'll get selected, of course that is a very good possibility. But I'm just saying that you keep it as an insurance. Okay. For example, if you don't qualify in your very first attempt, or you've given 1 full year to the exam, and now you're not able to qualify, so that shouldn't mean that now you're packing up your bags and heading back to your home. Simply should mean that you're still in the exam process. The first year has been a learning process for you. The second year of your exam would further enhance that learning and probably result in you cracking the exam. एक बार मैं हिंदी में बोल देता हूँ, असमी तो मेरे को अच्छे से आता नहीं है, तो मैं हिंदी में ये बोलता हूँ कि जैसे कि 1 साल लगता है आपको एग्जाम देने में, तो मोस्ट ऑफ द कैंडिडेट जो आएंगे वो बोलेंगे कि ठीक है, मेरा कोचिंग यहाँ पे मार्च ऑफ 2020 स्टार्ट हो रहा है एंड 2021 में मैं एग्जाम दूंगा एंड देन आई विल पास द एग्जाम। तो जो उसके लिए खर्चा होता है वो 1 साल का खर्चा, 1 साल का टाइम, मेंटल मेकअप वो लेके आता है। बट क्या है कि जनरली फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में क्वालिफाई नहीं होता है, ये एक हार्ड फैक्ट ऑफ एग्जाम है। समटाइम्स इज अ वेरी लाइक दिस इज व्हाट लाइफ इज एक्चुअली, यू नो। आपको कई बार ठोकर खा के आगे बढ़ना पड़ता है। सिविल सर्विस में नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट इसीलिए दिए हुए हैं। तो प्लीज इसको एक खराब पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मत लीजिएगा, ये रियलिटी ऑफ एग्जाम है। और मतलब ये लागू होता है। मेरा देखिए 6th अटेम्प्ट में हुआ, फाइनल अटेम्प्ट, इट वाज माय फाइनल अटेम्प्ट, दैट इज व्हेन आई गॉट सिलेक्टेड। उसके पहले मैंने इंटरव्यू दे रखा था, मेंस भी हर बार ही लिखा था, बट नहीं हो रहा था। तो एग्जाम में कई बार ऐसा लगता है, जैसे अभी आप में से वी हैव टोटल वट एवर नंबर ऑफ कैंडिडेट्स हियर, मान लीजिए कि इनमें से अगले साल 4 लोग इंटरव्यू दे रहे हैं, फाइनली एक बंदा पास करेगा, यू नो, 1 पर्सन मेक्स इट टू द लिस्ट। जो 3 बंदे जिन्होंने इंटरव्यू दिया है वो अगर छोड़ के चले जाएं बोल के अच्छा मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है और मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है वापस एग्जाम देने का, तो उन्होंने अपना लॉस कर लिया है। बिकॉज क्या पता अगले साल उनका देने से, अगले साल देने से उनका सिलेक्शन हो जाए, यू नो। तो ये एक रियलिटी ऑफ एग्जाम है, इसको आपको हमेशा दिमाग में रखना है। ये 1 साल का गेम नहीं है, समटाइम्स इट कैन स्ट्रेच अ लॉट लॉन्गर। फिर है कि हाँ, एग्जाम के लिए देखिए, अच्छा धुबरी का हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं। धुबरी में होने के अपने एडवांटेजेस है, डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं। अभी आप लोग अपने घर में हैं, कोरोना के टाइम में तो घर में रहना ज़्यादा अच्छा है, चीज़ें ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल है, बहुत अच्छी बात है। बट जैसे कि मैंने दिल्ली से मोस्टली अपना तैयारी किया, तो दिल्ली ऑफर्स सम ऑफ द वेरी बेस्ट ऑफ कोचिंग मटेरियल and you know, guidance for the exam. I'm not saying ki you won't be able to go through the or pass the exam just by yourself. Of course people do it, but you need to like calculate, you know, like I have a very simple philosophy about the exam, that see, I can consider myself as a very average individual in terms of my intellectual capacity. I have not been an achiever, or academically have not been very successful. So I thought, fine, if I require coaching classes, I should go for it. It's a very pragmatic and a very practical decision. Probably if you're somebody who's from one of the best IITs and, you know, okay, I got a message from Suresh Babu that please use English language because I can't understand in Hindi. Fine, yes, I'm explaining whatever I'm saying in Hindi, I'll explain it in English as well. So I was saying that if the person in question or under consideration is a person who has academically, he is very strong and has a good amount of confidence, then, you know, probably, of course, just by yourself reading the books and going through the material, you can definitely clear the exam. But for people, you know, people like me and you know, the average guy there, I would say that coaching does help, test series does help. So don't try to, you know, save on money. And if it requires that you go to Delhi, then you should go to Delhi. Because given the competitive nature of this exam, you know, you have to take whatever edge that you can get. Suppose you're rich and you can do some 3-4 test series, okay, you need not worry about money, then why not go for it, you know? Because the number of tests, the more the number of tests that you write, the better your final answers would be. So, and there's a way that you navigate through the entire preparation process that I'll guide, but these are some general, very general, you know, pointers towards how you should approach and what is the mindset that you should have when you're approaching the exam. Because people come to me and they say that, you know, I am, you know, in a financially stressed situation and IS or IPS would take me out of it. It's not like that. You know, IAS or IPS is firstly not a platform to take you out of your financial distress situation. Right now, we are only focusing on the exam process, and for that, you have to dedicate your money, resources, your time, you know, and be very much have some kind of insurance mechanism backup, you know, because this exam not necessarily, sometimes it puts people into more soup than what they were before. People have invested their 2 years, 3 years, people from IITs. So, and despite the 3 years that they have given to the exam, they eventually don't make, you know, finally they're not able to get selected. So that way, that's a very hard reality of the exam. So please invest your resources, make up your mind that this is my exam, this is what I'm going to do, my heart and soul, devotion, whole dedication to the exam. Right now I'll pause and I would like to take some questions over what I've said so far.
If anyone has any question, they can ask Sushant sir. I would request our participants, if they have any question, they can ask Sushant sir. Okay, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, hello,
My-
sir. Hello.
We have a question. Yeah. Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself.
Am I
Priyanka, please
audible?
go ahead. Yes, you are
Yes,
audible.
you are audible. Please introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, sir, my name is Priyanka Chakrabarti,
Right, Priyanka.
and I'm pursuing my graduation from BN College in English Honors.
Right. Okay, that's great.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, sir, well, I want to say something like I want to ask that is it necessary to take coachings and all?
Yeah. Again, it's a relevant and a pertinent question. And answering, there is no fundamental answer to this question. Like I said, if you're confident about your yourself, then need not. But from my experience, I would say that you should go for coaching classes. Civil service preparation is an ocean. Okay, if you start reading, you wouldn't know what to read, where to read from. So in a way, coaching classes help you navigate that, very arduous and cumbersome process that this is. So it will help you definitely. And my personal,
Okay.
although like I'm very much emphasizing that you might come across another successful candidate who would say that not necessarily you need to go for coaching classes. They got selected just by their own effort. But my answer would be very confidently that you go for coaching classes. It will help you. Yeah.
Okay. So again, as we know that the note making, that's one of the most crucial.
Yeah.
So, sir, like how to proceed for that note makings and all?
Note making and all will happen once you do your coaching classes. Right now you have a number of books that you need to go through, a lot of coaching material that you need to go through, current affair material. So I would say once you go through the entire process and get an idea about the exam, only then you should start making notes. And note making would also happen that once, say, for example, you've covered the whole of your GS. Okay. Why I'm emphasizing that you should go through the entire cycle, because this exam is not prelims, it's not mains, it's not interview, it's the entire process altogether. So before you start making your notes, okay, you need to know what is the demand of the exam. So for that you go through your coaching. At least if not coaching, then you can simply go through the entire GS material. Once you're finished up, then go through the question papers, prelims question paper, mains question paper. Then you would know ki, acha, this is what the exam is, this is what the question is asking. Then you can start making notes from there. Probably there are some notes available on the internet itself, toppers notes. You can have a look at them and make your own notes. What else? But for now, now that you're pursuing your degree in English literature, I would say that you do your college, and after that, only after that, once you've started the civil services preparation process, then you should go for making notes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Priyanka.
जैन सर
Jai Hind. Please introduce yourself.
सर मैं कैडेट शिव शंकर रविदास बात कर रहा हूँ सर.
अभिलाष जी.
नहीं सर, मैं कैडेट शिव सर.
शिव ओके.
जी सर मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ कि यूपीएससी का सर ये एज क्राइटेरिया क्या होता है सर? कितने बार हम दे सकते हैं, कितने एज तक दे सकते हैं सर?
देखिए एज क्राइटेरिया जो यूपीएससी का है वो
सर क्या मेरी आवाज सुन पा रहे हैं सर आप?
एक बार फिर से थोड़ा डिस्टरबेंस आ रहा था, एक बार बताइएगा, फिर से बोलिएगा जो बोल रहे थे।
मतलब हम कितने एज तक हम दे सकते हैं यूपीएससी और कितने बार अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं सर?
देखिए जनरल कैटेगरी का मुझे श्योरली पता है कि इट इज 32 ईयर्स एंड नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट इज 6। ओबीसी के लिए जो अदर बैकवर्ड कास्ट है उनके लिए शायद 35 ईयर्स है। हाँ, और SC ST के लिए आई थिंक इट इज अराउंड 37। तो मेरे को जनरल कैटेगरी का पता है दैट इट इज 32 एंड नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट इज 6। ये आप इंटरनेट पे देखिएगा ना, मिल जाएगा आपको। आपका अभी क्या उम्र है बताइए, और क्या किस कास्ट में आप आते हैं?
सर 21 सर, SC कास्ट सर।
हाँ तो आपके पास तो पूरा टाइम है। आप क्या टेंशन ले रहे हैं, है ना? दीजिए अच्छे से।
नहीं सर, बस जानकारी नहीं है सर, इसलिए पूछ रहे हैं सर।
सर मैं
थैंक यू सर।
add on करूं सर। सर
प्लीज
SC और ST के लिए शायद लिमिट नहीं है, देयर आर नो लिमिट्स फॉर ST एंड SC।
या राइट दैट इज देयर। नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट्स उनके लिए नहीं काउंट होते, बट एज फिर भी उनके लिए शायद से काउंट होता है ना?
हाँ
और मैं यही बोल रहा था, मैं बहुत लोगों से। हाँ अरमान बताओ।
हाँ
कुछ बोल रहे थे अरमान?
हाँ सर, जितना मैंने देखा है सर, एज शायद 35 का है लिमिट, और नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट्स SC एंड ST का अनलिमिटेड है सर, जितना मैंने देखा।
Right.
Sir, there is a question. Sir, there is a question from Sushmita Chakraborty.
Right.
Sir, there is a question from Sushmita Chakraborty. She asks that is Hindu newspaper mandatory?
हाँ, मैं ये सारी जो एग्जाम प्रोसेस का अभी मैंने बस आप लोगों को एक आइडिया दिया ना एग्जाम को लेके कि ऐसा ऐसा देखिए माइंडसेट बना के रखिए, अपना बैंक बैलेंस बना के रखिए। कोई लोग जॉब कर रहा है तो जॉब करते रहिए, हाँ, और अपना बैंक बैलेंस बनाइए जो कि आप इन्वेस्ट करेंगे कोचिंग में, दिल्ली में रहना पीना खाना पीना जो भी लगता है 2-3 साल के लिए, वो अपना मतलब बना के रखिए, बिकॉज एग्जाम में सब लगता है। ठीक है, तो वही कहने का मतलब था, जो एग्जाम का प्रोसेस है ना स्टेप बाय स्टेप मैं आपको बता दूंगा, इस वीडियो में बताऊंगा, इसके बाद वही स्टार्ट करेंगे। इसमें ये क्वेश्चन
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes. Introduce yourself and ask the question.
Yes, I am Divyakanti Sarbajna. I am from Thubri itself. So my question to you is like, I have done my post-graduation in literature.
Right.
So is it the right
literature?
time to prepare for? Yes. Is it the right time to prepare for UPSC or APSC? And if I'm taking materials online, because I'm staying here, I have right now I don't have any plans to go to Delhi or as such in any cities but coaching. So are online materials sort of sufficient or adequate, or is it the right time that I should actually start preparing for UPSC or any civil service exam, as you have mentioned?
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a good question, Devakanti. See, we need not go to Delhi because right now we have all the resources we need to prepare online or remotely. Give me a second, please. Are Vikas? Hello. Devakanti.
So you're audible.
So
Yes,
yeah, I'm audible. Okay. So that's what I was saying. Being in Dhubri is like if you have access to all the online resources, okay, whatever classes are there available in Delhi physically, that is also available online nowadays. And moreover, because of Corona thing, all the material, all the coaching classes are giving you every access on their online platform. So very safely you can access it. And this being the right time for you or not is something that you have to decide. Civil services only asks for a bachelor degree minimum. That too, it doesn't really say that you should have this much of percentage or something like that. So by now you should already have started, because I'm telling you, in order to be a civil servant, your whole and sole priority should be that you should be clear. I think somebody needs to mute their mic. I'm saying that be decisive and decide for yourself. And the day you decide that, okay, I'm going to be a civil servant, is the day, you will automatically start preparing. Because it requires a lot of momentum, a lot of energy, okay, without making up your mind yourself. Okay, if I tell you that today you start preparing, but this is like, it can stretch on for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, slowly you might lose your momentum, your energy, your motivation. तो अपने अंदर से ही लाना है ना, खुद से पूछना है कि अच्छा मेरे को बनना है IAS IPS IFS जो भी बनना है, वो आप अपने से डिसाइड करिए और उस टाइम अपने आप मतलब मैं हम जैसे लोग आपको गाइड कर सकते हैं कि आपको क्या पढ़ना है नहीं पढ़ना है, लेकिन वो कब बनना है या कब तैयारी करना है वो सब आपका डिसीजन रहेगा।
Thank you very much.
Hello, sir. This is hello.
यस यस चलिए।
Hello, sir. This is Vishal Karmakar. I'm from Dhubri and I have completed my graduation in food science and technology this year. So basically, my question is that, sir, the thing that I know is that paper analyzing is very important for civil services. But the thing is that while sir, first of all, while analyzing the question paper of previous years, sir, we can just predict that what type of question may come from the paper or the current affairs. But sir, while doing paper analysis, how can I, sir, highlight all the important topics basically, that which one should I focus more and which one should I like keep aside or ignore? So this is the thing that I want to know you from you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Another question, somebody had asked me the same question previously. Arman or Dubri team, if you can just please just
Yes, sir.
retell
Yes, sir.
me what the
There was a
question was, which I
question.
said that I'll be addressing. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not able
Yes,
to
sir.
recollect.
Sir,
This is about
it
paper,
was,
I think. Yeah.
so it was Vishal. He asked that question, sir. He asked in the chat.
Vishal, I think Priyanka or some lady had asked me that question earlier. I said that we'll talk about the exam process and then
Susmita, I guess. Sir,
Susmita,
Susmita,
yeah.
she asked the same question.
About
Is in the
question paper.
essential.
This one about paper, newspaper, right?
Yeah, she asked about the Hindu. Sir,
The Hindu,
she
yeah.
asked that is it
Okay.
mandatory to, follow the
Right.
Hindu?
I've noted the questions and we'll address it as we go along. Okay. I'll take the last question now, please.
Yeah, hello sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sir, I'm Abhijit. मैं अपने सेकेंड ईयर ऑफ ग्रेजुएशन में हूँ। मेरा दो क्वेश्चन है आपसे। सर आपने तो 6 अटेम्प्ट दिए, इसके लिए तो आपके डेडिकेशन को सैल्यूट करना चाहता हूँ। और सर कुछ तो मतलब एक टाइम ऐसा आया होगा जब लगता होगा छोड़ देते हैं, बहुत हो गया यार, तो उस टाइम कैसे मैनेज किया आपने? और सेकंड क्वेश्चन है सर कि कुछ ऐसे मिस्टेक्स हुए होंगे आपसे कि हो सकता है कि इस साल लगे होंगे कि इस साल नहीं हुआ, तो ये मिस्टेक कर दिया मैंने, तो वो मिस्टेक को आपने अगले साल एक्सेस किया होगा, तो कुछ वो मिस्टेक के बारे में बताइए कि आपने क्या किया जो अगले साल आपने करेक्ट किया। थैंक यू सर।
हाँ, देखिए आपका बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन था, क्योंकि अभी सब लोग कॉलेज में हैं, लेकिन जब आप एग्जाम के लिए तैयारी करना शुरू करेंगे और आप टेबल पे बैठेंगे और आपको 8-10 घंटा पढ़ना होगा, अगले दिन भी वही करना होगा, लाइफ में जो मजे थे वो खत्म हो जाएंगे, फ्रेंड्स अलग डायरेक्शन में चले जाएंगे और आपका लाइफ अलग डायरेक्शन में जा रहा हो, तो अगर आप पास करें फेल करें, आपका मोटिवेशन थोड़ा सा तो दिक्कत आता ही है उस चीज़ से एडजस्ट होने में। तो वही है आपके अंदर का कितना व्हाट इज द फैक्टर दैट इज मोटिवेटिंग यू। पर्सनली मेरा मतलब मैंने 6 अटेम्प्ट दिए, लेकिन उसके पीछे अपना हिस्ट्री है, मेरा अपना बैकग्राउंड है, हर चीज़ में नहीं बता सकता, लेकिन सीरियस अटेम्प्ट मैंने 4th अटेम्प्ट से स्टार्ट किया सीरियसली अटेम्प्ट देना, और मेरा तो ऐसा हो गया था। मोटिवेटिंग फैक्टर क्या था? डेस्परेशन फैक्टर था, बिकॉज इफ यू डोंट क्लियर एग्जाम देन मैं कहीं पे मतलब आई हैड नो अदर ऑप्शन बट टू क्लियर द एग्जाम टू गेट अ जॉब। लेटर ऑन आई गॉट अनदर जॉब फ्रॉम यूपीएससी, ईपीएफओ में मैं इंस्पेक्टर लेवल पे सेलेक्ट हुआ था। बट जब मैंने जॉब करना शुरू किया, मैंने देखा कि सरकारी नौकरी का एक हायरार्की होता है। पीपल हु आर इन ग्रुप ए सर्विसेज, उनका एक अलग लेवल ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म रहता है, एक अलग अपॉर्चुनिटी रहता है, दे कैन वर्क एट अ लार्जर स्केल। और जो ऑफिस एम्प्लॉयज रहते हैं उनका एक लिमिटेड नेचर ऑफ वर्क रहता है। तो वो चीज़ें मुझे काफ़ी सफोकेटिंग लगी कि अरे मैं ये नहीं कर पाऊंगा, आई नीड समथिंग लार्जर एंड बिगर। सो दैट इज हाउ आई केप्ट इम्प्रूविंग। अनदर थिंग इज दैट आई केप्ट इम्प्रूविंग इन माई एग्जाम प्रोसेस। ओके, इंटरव्यू मैंने 3 बार ही दिया यूपीएससी में, और मेंस मैंने हर बार ही देता रहा। एक बार गड़बड़ हुआ तो मुझे पता चल रहा था कि ठीक है, सही डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं और आखिरी आखिरी तक डिस्प्रेशन आ गया था पर्सनली मेरे लिए कि अरे यार एग्जाम निकालना है, मतलब इसके बाद तो मतलब जीना मरना जैसा हो गया। तो बहुत लोगों के साथ होता है, जैसे अभी आप लोग कंफर्टेबली अपने घर में रह रहे हैं, कॉलेज कर रहे हैं, बट आप जैसे सिविल सर्विसेज वंस यू स्टार्ट, सॉरी आई एम गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू इन इंग्लिश नाउ, वंस यू स्टार्ट योर प्रिपरेशन देन if you invest 1 year in anything, then it won't be easy for you to come out of it. You feel like, Are, I'm here, just one step closer, I'll go for another attempt. अनदर अटेम्प्ट में आपको लगेगा नहीं यार ठीक है, इस बार गलती हो गया, अगली बार ठीक करेंगे। तो वो चलता रहता है, उससे निकल पाना मुश्किल रहता है, और वो फिर आपके ऊपर है कि आप कितना हार मान लेते हैं, टूट जाते हैं, या कितना अपने आप को और जज्बाती बना के आगे बढ़ जाते हैं। मेरे लिए था कि मतलब सिचुएशन तो उतना फेवर में नहीं था, लेकिन फिर वो कहीं ना कहीं वो बातें अंदर से थी ना कि करेंगे करेंगे, ठीक है अटेम्प्ट लास्ट अटेम्प्ट है, फिर भी देखेंगे होना है नहीं होना है क्या है। तो सबके साथ होगा, जो आदमी तैयारी करने निकलेगा ना मन बना कि मेरे को सिविल सर्विस मतलब सिविल सर्विस क्लियर करना है और सिविल सर्वेंट बनना है, तो ये मेरे हर दोस्तों के साथ हुआ। जिन लोगों को टाइम लग गया, तीसरा चौथा अटेम्प्ट, पांचवा छठवां अटेम्प्ट, बहुत सारे दोस्त मेरे लास्ट अटेम्प्ट में सेलेक्ट हुए। तो आपको सब में ये डेडिकेशन और एक वो जो जुनून होता है ना कि अब मतलब आ रही है पास, वो वाला स्टेज आता है। जो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर करते हैं, मेरे मतलब हमारे बैच में बहुत लोग हैं जो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर किए, और आई रियली सैल्यूट देम, because somewhere or the other they had the right motivation, the right guidance, और सही टाइम पे सही डिसीजंस लिए। जैसे आप लोग का वही स्टेज है जब आप लोग को सही टाइम पे सही डिसीजंस लेने वाला। बहुत लोग आगे जाके बोलेंगे नहीं मैं एमए करके करूंगा, या बहुत लोग बोलेंगे कि नहीं मैं जॉब करने के बाद करूंगा। बहुत लोगों को सही गाइडेंस नहीं मिलेगा, बहुत लोग सही लोगों को अप्रोच नहीं करेंगे, मिसगाइड हो जाएंगे। तो ये सब चीज़ों को नेविगेट करना ही सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम है। हार्ड वर्क करना और पेपर में आंसर लिखना वो तो हर आदमी कर लेता है, बट जो एग्जाम प्रोसेस है उसमें सही डिसीजंस लेना वो ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। ठीक है, तो
Hello.
yes,
Hello, sir. This is Jyoti Prasad from Tamil Nadu, sir.
Nilesh.
This is Jyoti Prasad from Tamil Nadu, sir.
Jyoti Prasad. Please, yes, I'll take your last question and then we'll move on to the session. Make yourself fast, please.
Okay, sir.
Jyoti. Tell me. No, Jyoti is asking, you can go ahead with the question, but that was the last question.
Okay, sir.
No.
Sir, I have a doubt. Whether if you are clear on a topic and you are well through the topic, okay, sir. But the aspect of asking questions from the examiner, how to understand those aspects, sir?
Like when you're talking about a topic that you've read and you're asking me that how do you
it's like I can't able to implement those understandings in the examination, sir.
Right. Okay, I'll take this question when along with the session. Yeah, when we're talking about the examination process, we're saying that issue-based understanding. Okay, fine, Jyoti. I'll address your question in the session itself.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So, अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. So we'll go through the exam process. Exam is of 3 stages, as you all know: prelims, mains, and interview. So when you start preparing, you don't exclusively prepare for one stage. You start preparing for the whole stage, and eventually once you've done your entire preparation for all the stages, then you narrow it down to one specific stage. What happens is, say from tomorrow onwards, I have decided that tomorrow onwards I'm going to start preparing. So the first thing that I'll do is like get all the material that is needed to prepare for the GS. GS, that means whatever GS is relevant for prelims, interview, and mains. So if you are reading on your own, then it's cool. Otherwise, you can take down the list from any selected candidate who has shared the what books to read and which material to go through. Or the second option would be that you go for a coaching class. All of whatever suits your convenience. All are good options, and it's very subjective. That my answer would be that you go for a coaching class and also look at the toppers reference material, whatever he has gone through. he or she has gone through. Okay, so tomorrow, this is what I'll do. I'll do the whole coaching class. A proper GS coaching class will take you around, I think, 4 to 6 months. Once you enter very elaborate and lengthy process, okay? For example, when you're doing your coaching classes for 6 months, then a lot. Right now, you guys are at the very initial step, but after those 6 months, you would have gone through a lot of science and technology, international relations, Indian polity, Indian politics, the issues in Indian society, the plethora of issues that you'll go through, a number of subjects, huge diversity, huge depth, all which you would have problem going by you if you try to cover it yourself. Okay. For example, we're talking about when we look at international relations. Okay, we have so many countries in the world. So, अभी इंडिया का रिलेशन किसके साथ कैसा है? Or we're talking about India, Afghanistan, India, Iran, India, Pakistan, India, USA. Like, who would tell you, where to read all this from? Probably you will read this in the Hindu or Indian Express, but it's a very fragmented piece. Okay. Whatever is happening today in India, Afghanistan would probably be there in Hindu, and that's it. But you need to know about the history of India-Afghanistan relation, the present and the future, the analytical part of it. So the toppers notes, the toppers material, or the coaching institute will help you go through that process. Okay, they will. Somebody's mic is on.
If you are not speaking, can you please turn off the mic?
Yes. Okay. So
it's fine.
Now that we have done
Continue.
now it's fine. Yes. So that 6 months of coaching class or 6 months of self preparation is over. Now I have done the entire GS, which includes GS paper 1, which has history, geography, society, world history. GS paper 2, which has polity, IR, again society, poverty, development, issues in governance. GS paper 3, which is about economics, science and tech, and issues in Indian economy. Then we have GS paper 4, ethics and related matters in ethics. So अभी मैंने इतना एक consolidated, this is like a very huge content that you have to go through. ये सब go through कर लिया. अब हमको करना है कि prelims. So prelims में हमें पता है now because we have done the entire GS. Okay, once you've done the entire GS, then you focus on the individual stage of the exam. When you're going to appear for a prelims, then at least in your very first attempt, you need to set some 3 to 4 months exclusively for prelims preparation. For that, what you'd have to do is like go through the past 20 years UPSC question paper, UPSC prelims question paper. Okay, which means if one question paper has 100 questions, then into 20 is like 2000 questions that you have to go through UPSC wala. So from there you can filter out, okay, this is what I've read in my GS, and these are the questions that are being asked in prelims. So from there you can actually see, okay, this is what my learning was. This is what the question of the question paper or question pattern of UPSC is, and this is what I have to filter out in my prelims. For example, I'll tell you, when you're reading about the first War of Independence, 1857, then content of 1857 would be like, you'd read what were the battle zones for 1857, in which places specifically the revolt of 1857 happened. Okay, that would be there. Then analytical issues like, was 1857 really the first war of independence, or was it simply a Sepoy mutiny? Okay. Or I can ask you, say from international relations, again I'll go back to say India-Pakistan relations. So India-Pakistan relation, when you're going through the coaching class material, then you know that India-Pakistan, what are the issues that are the main reason for conflict in India and Pakistan. But that is not really a question for prelims. Question for prelims would be, for example, question for prelims would be, has India signed this treaty with trade treaty with Pakistan? Or it could ask you very much the name of the trade treaty that has been signed between Pakistan and India, or in the SAARC nations. So the factual part is more needed and necessary for prelims. So after you've done your coaching classes, or you've gone through the entire GS material, then you look at the question paper of the exam stage that you're going to appear for. If it is prelims, then you go through the past 20 years of prelims question paper. That will give you a huge, and it's not something that you'll get in the coaching classes or the test series, but this is a very crucial stage of your preparation, that you go through the question papers necessarily. Because see, right now what you have done is what has been told to you by yourself or the coaching classes. Okay, now you need to have a intervention by the UPSC. Once you go through those 2000 and very in a very dedicated way, you have to go through those question papers. Only then you would know, fine, this is what UPSC has been asking, this is what I've learned so far. Is what I have learned so far relevant? Is it helping me answer the question that that the UPSC has asked? So once you analyze and understand, then only you can clear that particular stage. Okay, so you've gone through those 2000 questions. Now you're confident. Okay, now you know what is the requirement for prelims. Then you start reading, then you reread whatever you have learned so far from the prelims perspective. Like I told you, India Pakistan, whatever the factual content is there in India and Pakistan, that you go through. Yeah, 1857 maybe kya factual content is that you go through. After that, people also go for test series. Just give me a minute, please. Okay, guys. So then this is, and I was talking about the test series. Test series is also helpful because essentially, when you appear for the question paper, what test series helps you do is like it makes you a pro. Simply, if you want to be a good batsman, then you need to hit as many number of balls as you can before you become a successful batsman. So before I go for my prelims examination, if I have appeared for some 20-30 prelims test series or mock tests, then it would make me a better prelims paper solver. So that is the whole concept of mock test series. Again, I would say it's a very subjective thing to say, because people are confident that they need not appear for the test series, and they can directly go and sit in the paper on the paper day and crack the exam. That's fine. That's totally fine. People do it also, no problem. You can go through the books, you can go through the question paper, get some mock test papers from the market, and that should suffice. Okay. Second thing would be, so yeah, this is how you would go for your prelims stage. After that comes your main stage. So mains is like the most important or the significant part of your exam process. In this, in your earlier stage, the prelim stage, you only had two papers. One was only qualifying in nature, the CSAT paper, and the other paper is GS, in which you have to score as much as possible. Then we come to the mains papers. Mains has 4 GS paper, 2 optional paper, and 1 essay paper. And along with these 7 papers, you have 2 qualifying papers of language. One would be English and one would be Hindi. So again, like I said, I had talked so far about the GS. Now we go to the optional stage also. That when you are appearing for your mains exam, you need to have your options prepared. So for that, again, if you want to do it on your own, then you go through the relevant material, talk to a topper in that particular optional, ask him or her, like what are the books that you have gone through, what is the material that I should go through, and accordingly prepare, or go to a top coaching institute and get yourself enrolled, and that will help you prepare for the subject, at least the 70% part of it. 30% you have to do, or maybe 40% you have to do on your own, always. Even if you are talking to a topper, it will be your own effort, your own dedication, your own edge in that particular subject. Every person who gets selected has their own story and has their own, have their own tools and techniques to clear the exam. Okay, and that you would also acquire on your own if you dedicate yourself to that particular subject. Okay, so then again, like so far what I had done, I had finished my GS, and now I have finished my optional as well. Probably I have done the optional on my own, or I have gone to a test series and finished it. Now also I have cleared the prelim stage. Now comes the main stage. Again, what you need to do is, like, before you prepare for the mains, you go through the mains question paper. Take 10 years, past 10 years question papers of GS as well as your optional and your essay test papers. Then you go and solve it. Go through the question paper as many number of times. Go through the main syllabus as many number of times. Then analyze, okay, what I've read and what has the UPSC asked. Is there any similarity? Is there any congruence? Try and answer those questions. You know, if you're not able to answer the questions, you know, you have to realize that, oh, somewhere or the other, I have not covered this topic or I've not answered it satisfactorily. So probably there has been some kind of limitation in my understanding of the topic. Everywhere, whatever you learn or whatever you, you know, memorize, whatever somebody helps you learn, the testing criteria or the relevance would be testing it by the UPSC standard or the UPSC question paper. Suppose whatever you're reading, okay, this goes to everybody. You're reading some Hindu newspaper. Then you need to find out whatever I've read so far, has it been asked, or this kind of a pattern, has it been questioned by the UPSC before? So this is how you have to, whatever you're going through, this is how you have to analyze and test. Because after a certain stage of time, a certain stage of preparation, you will be on your own, okay? I can't help you. The coaching people can't help you. The only person who can help you is you yourself. And that 30 to 40% of the journey has to be done by you. The coaching will only help you 50% of the way. And how will UPSC help you? You simply look at the syllabus, you simply look at the question paper, and then you answer, try and answer it. Okay, am I able to answer it? If not, why? What have I not read? What have I not understood? This should be your determining parameter for the exam. So simply this whole, if we apply this whole understanding to the mains as well, then after doing your coaching classes, your optional and GS, you go through the mains question paper, all the question paper. You take last 10 years question paper and probably try and go through them, write answers and see, you know, go through it. And finally, guys, sorry, I'll take another minute. Okay, hold on. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're
Yes.
audible.
Okay, yeah, right. So we're talking about mains. So like again, you go through those question papers of UPSC and then start writing your mains test series. Again, the relevance of test series is such that it helps you become a better batsman before you go to the actual match. For example, tomorrow is my optional paper and I've written some 20 mock test papers of public administration or sociology, whatever your optional is. Then you'll be far more comfortable writing those, appearing for the that particular question paper of UPSC on that particular day. That's it. Also, these mock test series for both prelims and mains, they help you understand where you're lagging, okay? Because whatever you learned, you know, that needs to be tested, whether I've learned rightly or wrongly, whether I need to learn more, whether I need to relearn. All this will only be determined by your test series. You know, there are some really good mentors in Delhi. You know, when they go through your test series answers, mains test series answers, your prelims answer sheet, then they can tell you that this is where you're lagging and this is what you need to learn. Go through once again. You need to identify your own areas of strength and weaknesses. So that is what the test series will do at every stage of the exam. Then finally, suppose now that you've cracked mains, you've cleared mains, then you're going to appear for interview. Interview is all about conversation. And now that you are a candidate who has cleared prelims, who has cleared mains, automatically one can assume that you have a sufficient level of understanding of the general understanding of the affairs of the world. Okay, of any particular topic. Mostly it is about you know, having a conversation, and not necessarily you have to know everything under the sun. You know, the whole pattern of UPSC interview is such that they are very good. The board is always very cordial. They would want to know your personality, not your knowledge, because knowledge has already been sufficiently tested in the prelims and the main stage. So, you know, what kind of a personality you have? Are you breaking under pressure? Are you getting nervous? So that's, you know, the kind of testing that is done in the interview. And again, I would say that interview is a very chilled out process. You know, 3 times I appeared for the interview, and every time I felt that the exam, it's like smooth and smoother. That is how it went. An interview really, you can't really prepare much on it, because it's about your own personality, how well you talk, and how well you deal with a particular situation. Again, I would suggest that you go for mock interviews. It will help you strengthening your areas of where you're weak, probably your communication skills or your gestures. Some very basic essentials that will be taught by the these test series, the mock test series that you do for your interviews. So that's it, and appear for the interview, do the conversation on the D day, the final day, and that's it. Sooner you'll have your name in the final list. Yeah, that was my brief take on the exam process. Sitting on the other side, because 2 years earlier I was there preparing, and I had my own problems and dilemmas. I did not have confidence in myself, but this is really it. And most of the problems that you face about the exam is really it's your own mental drama, psychological drama that is happening. Simply, if you keep committed, if you keep driven, if you keep company with the right group of friends, the right people, I think civil services will happen to everybody. Everybody who's like dedicated and devoted. You need not have extraordinary, aptitude. People say that I must have had some, great patience that I went on for 6 years. But it's not like that. I have my own story. When you look at a topper, it looks like, oh my God, he's intellectually so, qualified and all that, treating him like a fan does. But really, it's not that. It's a very general process that if you have the right guidance, and if you have the right momentum that you build for your own self, the effort that you're putting in, it's only a matter of time before you get selected. This is what I would like to tell everybody, and I'm very happy that we had this conversation. I can see you all on the video, and it makes me very happy that probably I was able to. I can't say if I was able to guide you or not, but I could share with you whatever worked for me, and I pray to God and the higher powers that all of you all sitting here, you get selected, get a good job through the civil services exam platform. It's 10 o'clock, and actually there are people here in the office who are waiting for me to end the session so that they could close the office. We'll take some questions before we end the session.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Basically, before finishing, I don't have any question to ask you now, as the time is almost finished. So
no, it's all right.
I just
We
have
can
a
extend it to another 15 minutes. Yes, yes.
So, as there are many aspirants here in our town, so can you just? I know you are very busy, but can you just give us some time and help us, like once in a week or twice in a month, so that we can we can just sort it out.
Okay, I promise you that, because there's only a certain limit of help that I can extend on an online platform, but that much I can do to all the people here in Dhubri, that weekly once we can meet up and I can review your progress and guide you personally as long as I'm here. That I'll do.
Thank you, sir.
So you can get in touch with the Dhubri bus team, and together as a batch you should come. I can't like address everybody individually, so whoever comes should come in the entire batch.
Yes.
Sir, I think we have talked enough about studies and preparation for civil services. Sir, sir, there was a question that was in our chat box. Sir, someone asked that what was your journey during your, graduation? How you wanted to prepare for civil services? What you thought about preparing for civil services when you got yourself?
Yeah, why? Yeah, so that is what I was saying, that this whole journey is going to be very subjective and individualized. For me, it was very different. When I tell you that it took me 6 long attempts to finally clear the exam, the story goes much beyond it. I never had any plans to, or aspirations, motivation to join the civil services, but my family did. So in a way, that whole family pressure that whole Sarkari job thing happened. It took me some time. I wanted to probably go abroad and do a MBA. That was my whole plan. But now I'm very much happy wherever I am, where I am. And personally, I would say that my family made me take the right decision. My
Sir,
first, yeah, Arman, tell me.
Sir, there's a question, sir. Sir, someone asked that. So, what's your education background? I mean, sir, they meant to say that what stream you
Right.
were on.
Yeah. I, in fact, realize that many people who are here are doing their degree in English literature. I also did my graduation BA in English literature from Delhi University, BA honors in English literature. And your educational background becomes crucial during the interview. Not how much you scored. Okay, I was second division in my graduation. Similarly, my 10th and 12th marks were very average. But when I say that educational background becomes important, that when you go to the interview after so many years of preparation, whatever time, you will be asked questions on your education, like the degree that you have. If it is a BTech degree, mechanical degree, you will have questions on mechanical engineering. If you have done your graduation in English literature, then you will have questions on English Romanticism, Augustan age, the romantic poets, what they can ask you anything. So that way it is your educational background is important. After that, I was there as EPFO, Employees Provident Fund Office. It's a central government organization, semi-autonomous organization. There I worked as a Provident Fund Inspector for 1.5 years, after which I cleared the exam and I got recruited into the Indian Police Service.
Sir, there are more
Excuse me,
questions
sir.
coming up.
Yes. Tell me.
So Sudeshna, this side. Sir, according to you, exactly how much time is adequate to prepare on daily basis? I mean, if I am studying on daily basis for this, so how much time is adequate for that?
Time would be adequate. See, that you have to decide, okay? Because you have your own reading capacity, your reading speed, understanding capacity and speed. So what you do is, ideally, I mean, it should be comfortably 8 to 10 hours every day, But once you start, for example, a person who is appearing for the mains, then he would be reading more than that, 12 to 14 hours, 16 hours, whatever. It is again very subjective. This attempt when I finally cleared the exam, I was having a very hard time keeping myself motivated. So I was hardly reading for 8 to 10 hours. In my fourth attempt, it would often extend above 16. So, but don't think that I'm sorry I told you this thing, but what I'm trying to tell is once you start or involve yourself with the exam process, this number of hours, it will happen automatically. You need not prefix the number of hours that you're going to read or dedicate to the exam. A very general thing would be 8 to 10 hours ideally for any exam, that way. But once you're like starting tomorrow we have prelims. So a week before, people must have been reading in a very hectic way, and they must be dedicating their entire day to the prelims preparation. So as and when the exam stage comes closer, you start reading a lot. And for example, after prelims, people feel more relaxed. They go to the library and read according to their own leisure time. So that is there. Once you go through the exam process, the examination stages, then you would automatically come to realize how much time you need to spend. Ideally 8 to 10 hours, and more would be better.
Sir, once I'm touching a subject, what do you suggest? First, to complete the entire syllabus of that particular subject, or to, just adjust another subject in each day?
That is what I was saying, that once you go through if you go through, because you will have a hard time finishing everything together. But again, if you try and finish one subject completely, then it will take a lot of time. If you're doing a preparation on your own, then 2-3 subjects you can take up and then finish them totally. Give yourself a deadline. Otherwise, you will just stay stagnant. Okay, because if I ask you to cover modern history will never end. It will just keep on going. Probably you will fall back on whatever you've question yourself: have I covered this properly or not? So what coaching classes, help you do is like they generate a momentum and they keep pushing you, pushing you, pushing you. Otherwise, if you start preparing on your own, you wouldn't know if I am reading rightly or if my speed is fine, if I'm covering the things properly. So my specific answer would be that you try and cover 2 to 3 subjects at a time, finish them completely, 3 subjects in one go. Otherwise, if you go for coaching classes, it would be like it will help you better. That's all.
Sir, can you suggest any good coaching classes at Delhi?
Yeah, like all the top coaching classes, we have Vision IS. They have a good online platform, where you can access their GS content. Wajiram is there. Fun Study Group is there. So these are some coaching classes where you'll get a good
Thank you,
content
sir.
feedback and
Thank you.
stuff. Yeah. You're right.
The thing is, I think it's late. It's quite late. It's
Name of the institute?
someone's asking something.
Arman,
Yeah,
you're saying
please
something.
continue with the question. Sir, someone asked something. Sir, can you please continue with the question?
Yeah, please ask the question again.
Sir, I asked that from where you took your coaching classes, the name of the institution.
Yeah, but I'll tell you my coaching class, but it doesn't mean that the rest of the people who got selected are from the same coaching classes. Okay, like people get selected from everywhere. Yeah, I did from Wajiram and Ravi. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
like all the coaching classes are equally good. They will give you that 50%. They'll clear the way for you 50%, and the 50% you have to walk on your own. So that way, it's not very specific that you have to necessarily do from this particular coaching classes. 3-4 coaching classes: Vision, KSG, Fun Study Group, Wajiram and Ravi. You can go for them. I don't really know how are they providing the content now online, but that you please see according to your own suitability. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, I have a question personally, sir.
Yes,
Sir, how much is backward integration of newspaper? I mean, important? Is it very necessary, or we can skip it?
No, see, newspapers are very important. But again, if I
sir,
give you a
backward
book,
integration of newspaper, sir. So
backward
integration.
What would that mean? It's a very typical term that you're using, backward integration. Like the
So, I mean, like
question,
analyzing each and every topic.
newspapers. Please.
Sir, analyzing each and every topic, sir, taking it back from where it came, so from the origin, like
that way,
no,
that is it's something that you can't really do, because once you start preparing, then you don't really have time to go and do this whole process on your own. Okay, it's very interesting thing to do actually. When you find something interesting in the newspaper, then you can Google it, and it'll give you a variety of articles, and you can have a very comprehensive understanding of it. So that's what. That if you're giving yourself 1 year of preparation time, then let this work be done by the coaching classes. They will give you the comprehensive understanding. For example, again, I'll tell you, give me one issue, Arman, that you have come across in the newspaper and you think you need to do a backward integration.
Sir, there has been many, sir. I came across some certain, sir, IPC sections or some cases related. I mean, some news about some IT or science. So I have to check some history back so that I can know about more. I can learn more about them. Sir, I stay in that dilemma that is this topic relevant? I mean, yes, will the question be?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So see, when you're looking at IPC or the sections in Information Technology Act, I don't really know. Okay, if you have come across this in the paper, then fine. But even Googling it won't help you create a very comprehensive understanding, and particularly that understanding which is needed for the exam. Okay, I don't think IPC is at all relevant for the UPSC exam, whatever sections of IPC. But if at all any issue of, I say, I mean, as far as I can remember, the defamation case of IPC, I think it is around 500 or something. Can't really recall well, but that was in debate. So that will be covered by the coaching classes. I was giving you an example of, you were talking about Information Technology Act. Let me think of an issue. Section 66A, was it? Give me a second. Give me another issue that you came across.
Sir, while I was doing backward integration, Sir, for example, I found something that is related. I mean, sir, for example, the Hathras rape case that recently happened. So there was a term called fast track court. So fast track court. So I didn't knew about that fast track court. So I have to Google it. I have to go back. So when it happened, so I found that it
I
was
understand.
around in 2012. Yes, sir.
Right. So yeah, exactly. See, for your own curiosity, you can Google what is fast track court, and you will come across there. But when you are, that's what I'm telling you. When you go through the coaching material or the material that is there for your GS preparation, there'll come a time when you're doing your GS and a fast track trial topic will come. That will give you a very good gist and understanding of a fast track court. So for that, you need not Google, and once you have gone through it, you would know what the fast track court, this issue, what all I need to know about it for UPSC, and that would suffice. Maybe if you start Googling it, you'll get lots of articles on fast track courts. I myself, I think I have Googled this topic many a number of times, and there has been huge conflict between the government and the judiciary on the running of this fast track courts. But I don't think that was an issue that at all was demanded by UPSC. So that's what, when you're, so for example, this very
example, sir, I was trying to say, sir. It was just an example that sometimes I come across certain terms, sir, that leads to some another thing, and it takes me back, sir. It consumes a lot of time.
Exactly. So right now, what you need to do is, like, you need not go through the newspaper. If you want to go through the current affairs, then probably you can watch Raj Sabha TV, their debate and opinion. Because right now you don't really have that background, no? So what happens is, like, when you go through the GS content, okay, the entire GS content, you will create a canvas, okay, a large canvas. So when you go through the newspaper, you can fit everything in that canvas. Now, when you're going through the newspaper individually without doing the GS, so you're building that canvas here and there. So it's happening in a very haphazard way. That is, we're talking about this backward integration, which is taking a lot of time, and it won't create that comprehensive canvas. But after having done your GS classes in a very dedicated way, you will have a huge background. So when you're reading the newspaper now, automatically things will come to you, you'll understand. And at the same time, you'll know what are all the issues that are there in this heinous rape case that are relevant for UPSC. Okay. So backward, the question wouldn't really arise if you've done your GS properly. Again, I think Sushmita was asking how to make newspaper notes. Please do your GS properly. After that, you start reading the newspaper. There's a channel called Only IAS on YouTube. You can follow it. And this particular person, he has great content. The greatness of this content comes from his good understanding of UPSC. Okay, whatever is relevant in the Hindu and the Indian Express on that particular day for UPSC candidates, he gives it in a very, very lucid, simple way, and it will help all you guys. But before before going for the question paper, please go through the GS material. Okay.
Sir, excuse me. You just mentioned about a good content. Just can you just repeat it? What you said
about what?
So you mentioned a good content, a book that I have good content. I just missed it actually. What you mentioned a name, I guess, book.
No, I didn't mention any book's name. I talked about a channel, Only IAS channel, which has good content on YouTube. It talks about only IAS. That particular person does a good analysis of everyday newspaper, the Hindu and Indian Express. So you guys can follow that. But right now, because this exam happens, one step at a time. When you're taking up the newspaper, you're trying to climb the 4th step. But the 3 steps that are down below, that is the coaching classes or the GS material that you have to go through. GS material means 10 to 15 solid books, 10 to 15 current affair compilation, and like essay material, GS material, that whole mains interview, everything you have to go through once before you start reading the newspaper. Okay.
Sir,
hello, sir.
Yeah,
Vishal, continue.
One more last question from my end. Last one.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, before starting geography or history, most of my seniors, they advised me to follow NCERT from class 6 to 12. So for me, I personally find it very difficult to complete the books from class 6 to 12. So what do you suggest me to this particular question? Like, should I cover it or before?
NCERTs are very easy to read, and that is the whole point about reading NCERT is that they are presented in a very simple and lucid way. Okay. And you can go through them just to build a background. Okay. Because NCERTs are not for your content generation. Content generation will happen from those solid books like Spectrum and the old NCERTs, Go Ching Leong, all those books, the vital books. NCERTs are simply there to wet your brush before you start painting. Okay. So go through them. I mean, don't take it in a way that you know that I have to memorize everything that is written there in the NCERT. Just go through them like a storybook, like a novel. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one question for you.
Yes. Yes. Please.
Sir, the thing is about the optional subjects, sir. Because I have seen the number of optional subjects we have and the number of people who are appearing for the subjects and the number of people who are clearing it. So the ratio is very low comparing to the people who choose it and comparing the people who clear the subject what they have chosen.
No, I was not
So
able
I
to
want you.
understand your question properly. Sorry. Could you rephrase it? Hello? I think it was Sukurta who was asking that question. In general, I would like to tell you about the options. The optional, deciding the optional subject is a very crucial decision. Okay. Right now, and you know, a year back, when I was preparing, the 3-4 options were very safe, and you can, if at all anybody is having any doubt, then you can, you know, safely choose these options. First is political science, second is sociology, third is anthropology, and what else? I think these are the 3 safe options that anybody can choose blindly. After that, if you want to go for some other subjects, then you need to know that you're interested in it. You need to know that you have a good supply of relevant materials from the coaching classes or from your selected candidates, wherever it is coming from. For example, if I'm choosing a subject for, say, I'm choosing zoology, then I need to know that sufficient material or whatever is needed for zoology optional preparation, that is there with me. Okay. और if I'm choosing mathematics, then mathematics के लिए मेरे पास material है या guidance है. Okay, that is one deciding criteria. That's about it. Your aptitude for the subject, your interest in the subject, and the availability of you know, material for your preparation. These are the 3-4 criteria on which you should choose your optional subject.
So, sir, it's almost, sir, 10:30. Sir, I guess we should sum this up. Sir,
Yes,
lastly,
yes,
I would ask a question on behalf of everyone, so that you have given us enough knowledge. I mean, you have abundant of knowledge that what we should do to prepare for civil service exam. Sir, lastly, on behalf of everyone, I would ask you a question that what mistakes can we avoid? You have told us what we should do, but what we should avoid.
Yes, that's a very good question, Arman.
Thank you, sir.
Mistakes, see, what I believe is that everybody can, you know, sit on the table, give their effort, okay, and prepare for the exam. Mistakes happen in making your decisions. If you make the wrong decisions, then it can cost you an entire attempt, an entire year. That way, attempt to one mistake would be trying to save on your money by not doing the test series. A mistake would be, you know, seeking guidance from somebody who's not been selected. And I'm not saying that people who are not selected can't guide you. Of course, it is the coaching people who, or the people who are there, my mentors, who helped me eventually clear this exam. But I'm saying you talk to the right people. Sometimes people misguide you. Okay. So right now, maybe after a year, whatever knowledge I had about the exam, that would not be very relevant. So the most appropriate person to get the knowledge would be from somebody who's a very fresh recruit, or freshly selected. Okay, so if somebody, suppose, you know, somebody who's cleared the exam 10 years back, he just can't guide you, because 10 years back the exam was a different case altogether. Now it's very different. It keeps changing. It's very dynamic. So whom you're getting your guidance from? Always ask this. Okay, if I'm taking this decision that I'm not going to join the test series, then who has guided me? Okay, then this whole misconception and bias that you have to be very a superstar to clear the exam. Do away with this. Uh, it's just another mental block that you have, that you need to clear before you. Uh, I too had this mental block that, oh my God, मेरा तो मतलब ना IIT है ना ऐसा JNU है, तो civil services मेरा कैसे निकलेगा? But this is the good part about civil services कि people from normal colleges also get through, and the most extraordinary candidates sometimes they also are not able to clear the exam. So as a biases, don't keep any biases, okay? And eat well, be very balanced. Sometimes it can get very stressful. This exam is not just about your intellectual aptitude, but also your emotional, how you're emotionally, taking the thing. It's a marathon that you're going to run, okay? So emotionally, you have to be very strong. Sometimes there will be problems in the family, अभी पता करना, जैसे हम अभी ऐसे कोई दोस्त बना लें जिनके साथ हम पार्टी करते हैं या घूमते फिरते हैं, तो मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ खराब है, लेकिन अभी जब मेरा तैयारी करने का टाइम है, तो मेरे दोस्त वो होने चाहिए जो सिलेक्ट हो चुके हैं या जो इंटरव्यू दे चुके हैं, जो मेंस दे चुके हैं, उनके साथ मैं उठूंगा बैठूंगा तो मेरा भी ना माइंडसेट एग्जाम वाला ही ओरिएंटेड रहेगा सुबह शाम. तो ऐसी चीजें करें, मतलब बी विद द राइट काइंड ऑफ पीपल.
सर आई मीन सर यू मीन दैट व्हाटएवर वी शुड डू फॉर द होल डे, जो भी कुछ हम करते हैं, that should be related to I mean clearing the exam. Whatever we do, I mean whatever we go, wherever we go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you have to be in that stage, okay? You have to be in that stage that सुबह से लेके शाम तक. और because अभी see I went to Delhi, I joined a library. This is what most of the people do, okay? After you've cleared out of your college, you go to Delhi. And morning, whatever time you're going to the library, then you go to your coaching class, get your food in the library, eat the food there, don't go to the room. Keep studying in the library after you've come back from the coaching classes. And then finally, when you're about to retire and you want to go to bed, then you go to your room. And this keeps repeating entire 365 into 2 into 3 into 4, how many times it takes for your attempt. तो इसी तरह का सिविल सर्विसेज मांगता है, मतलब. और आपको भी, मतलब आप ऐसे मत सोचो कि ये मैं कैसे करूंगा. एक बार आपने एक कदम ले लिया ना, फिर दूसरा कदम अपने आप बढ़ेगा, तीसरा कदम बढ़ता रहेगा, फिर आप भी उसी तरह आ जाए. फिर लोग बोलेंगे अरे बाप रे कितना पढ़ता है, ऐसा है वैसा है. तो मतलब इट्स अ वेरी ऑर्गेनिक प्रोसेस एंड इट विल हैपन, ओके? बट यू टेक द फर्स्ट स्टेप कॉन्फिडेंटली, द सेकंड स्टेप कॉन्फिडेंटली, and the exam process will automatically guide you, okay? You need not think too much about the future. Also, I would like to say that I'll share with Dubri, but if you guys are getting, the other participants as well, if you're getting, like, if you're going to a coaching class, that's good. If you're getting what content to read from about GS on GS from some particular selected candidate or a topper, that's again good. I have my own very basic set of books that I have noted down for both prelims and mains that I will share with the Dubri team, and then they can share it with the participants and other interested candidates. So that I will do. And also the people who wanted to get in touch with me here in the office in Dubri district, I would gladly give my time. So make your team and contact me, and we'll find a time when it is suitable for both of us. Hey Arman. We have 30 number of participants. Yes, Dubri bus team. What else? Should we retire?
Sir, so then we should conclude this session, right, sir?
Yes,
10:30 now.
Arman. Yes. I'm sorry that I extended it this long, and I'm sorry that I started it late actually.
No, sir. We will be happy enough if you will continue for another hour, sir.
Right. Maybe we can do this again, okay? If people are asking, they have some more questions. Yeah. If you guys get that, we'll do it again on a suitable date and time. I had a very great time interacting with you guys. Dubri bus team, thank you so much. You guys really
we are honored to have you, sir. We are honored to have you.
No, please. It's an honor for me as well. Not just this effort, but every effort that you guys are taking up. It's very much visible here in the SP office also. So you guys are being noticed, and I want you guys to also put in the same effort in the exam process, because ultimately, this is the time when you actually build yourself, okay? Things that you're doing now is, they are very, very good, and that you can continue with. but decide your priorities. That is my message to you. Okay, it was nice talking to you, Arman and Shubham and everybody else. Thank you for your questions. Hopefully we'll do this again. We'll call it a day.
Sure, sir.
Bye. Yeah. Okay. All the best to everybody. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.